What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. The NBA regular season opening night literally just ended, so I'm recording it right after the Timberwolves and Lakers game, and of course the Celtics and Knicks game earlier. And today I wanted to come out here and of course get ourselves back in the modern era, and today I want to talk about the Golden State Warriors. Funny enough, my favorite team, the Portland Trail Blazers, is facing them tonight as you guys are seeing this, but let's just go ahead, jump in and rebuild the Golden State Warriors in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciate. The Celtics and Knicks game was absolutely horrendous. Not obviously from a Celtics fan perspective. You probably had a ton of fun. Yeah, I mean the Celtics. Horrendous is a stretch, but it wasn't a very competitive game. Everyone's already freaking out about the Knicks making a big mistake, making these trades. Like, it's the first game of the season. The Boston Celtics almost broke the NBA record for threes made. Timberwolves and Lakers was okay as well. AD had a great game. But besides that, we're talking about the Golden State Warriors. So the Warriors kind of remind me of where the Clippers are. Not as bad, obviously, because the Clippers find themselves in a really bad situation with all the draft picks they traded. But the Warriors are kind of in a summer spot where I can't really predict where the Warriors and Clippers are going to be this season. Like, they could be good. They also could be really bad. Of course, the Warriors don't have Klay Thompson anymore. Kuminga is someone they're going to have to look to make a big jump. Stephen Curry is going to be Stephen Curry, of course. They brought in Buddy Hield. They brought in Anthony Melton. They've made a few changes. Maybe Podziemski makes a massive jump for them as well. But in year one, I'm not really sure what to expect. I could see us being a playoff team. I could also see us just being, like I said, pretty bad. So Stephen Curry, Buddy Hield, Wiggins, Draymond, and Trace Jackson-Davis is your starting five with Kuminga off the bench. Now, obviously, Kuminga, off the bench doesn't sound too correct to me. Podziemski, if I could get him in the starting five, I think that would make sense as well. So I think it is fair to start. I mean, you could probably start Draymond and then Kuminga. That's probably what I'll do. And then Buddy Hield can play off the bench over Podziemski, because I think Podziemski and Kuminga are the two guys you need to develop anyway, to go forward. And then Stephen Curry, if you're going to want to, get another star here eventually, maybe you have to make a massive move there with trading one of these two guys. But maybe they avoid that altogether. I guess we'll find out what happens. But I'm going to simulate year one, and we're just going to simply see how things go. So Kuminga, for him to take a jump, obviously his shot tendency needs to be high enough to do so. They're going to boost his shot tendency up because we need him to become that guy for us. And then we'll also move, when we also can move to small forward as well. Or I guess he's playing power forward, right? Because Wiggins playing the three, obviously. And then Podziemski's shot tendency is somewhat low as well. I'll push that up just a tad bit. So that's what we'll do. We'll simulate year one with those changes. I don't think I'll be doing it through the deadline. I'm just going to simply see if this team makes the playoffs or not according to 2K. Because if you told me to predict if the Warriors will be in the playoffs today, I have no clue. So let's just see what happens. Today's video is brought to you by two softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. We're starting on Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. And guys, like I said, I'm recording this right after the Lakers and Timberwolves game. And there's so much value on the board right now. It's actually insane. So we got Nick Claxton over 21.5 points plus rebound. Or sorry, 20.5. Yeah, points plus rebounds. I don't know if I said 21, but 20.5. As you can see, clear value. Clear as day value here. Almost every book has this at 20.5. It wouldn't make any sense to bet this 21.5. You can get a better number at 20.5. It's that simple. It's just like you're going to go car shopping, right? You get it at a cheaper price. Take the cheaper price. And there's clear value here. You also have Pat Connaughton over 2.5 rebounds. You have Nick Richards under 7.5 PRA. Same thing. Every single book listing this at 16.5. Trae Young, 35 points plus assists. Like, there's so much to like here on the board at the moment. And it's a ton of fun. Norman Powell. I also love Ozjam's positive EV tool as well. I actually just took this one. Derrick Jones under 3.5 rebounds. As you can see, clear value here. You got minus 110 on DraftKings, and every other book has this at, minus an average odds of minus 131. You also have FanDuel, one of the sharper books for player props, at minus 142, which is why we love it. So make sure to check out both these tools, man. If you bet on sports, you got Tyus Jones under 1.5 steals as well up here, which looks solid. But yeah, if you bet on sports, especially basketball, it's a great time to sign up for any of these softwares to help you become a much profitable sports bettor. Check them out. Links down in the description below. Use code Crushables to get a percentage off your first month when you sign up. Other than that, back to the video. So at the end of year one, Luka Doncic wins MVP like always. Here are the rest of your awards. But 2K has the Warriors making the playoffs. We ended up as the 5th seed in the West, which is fantastic. Stephen Curry makes All-NBA third team. Love to see that. But yeah, we end up as the 5th seed in the West. We draw Denver in round 1, so we'll see how that goes. But if you look at the player stats, you had 32 from Steph, 16 from Kuminga, 13 from Podziemski, 12.5 from Wiggins, and 12 from Buddy Hield, 8 from Trace Jackson-Davis with 7 rebounds, 8 from Melton, and 7 for Draymond Green, and then 3.5 from Kevon Looney. All right, well, without further ado, I mean, I can't imagine we get past round 1, to be honest with you, but I guess anything is possible, like Kevin Garnett once said. But let's simulate current round against Denver. And wow, we actually just swept them. I did not expect that to happen, but okay. I guess KG was right. Anything is possible. We just swept the Denver Nuggets in round 1. Pretty wild. I can't imagine we do that to Dallas, though. Okay, we lose in the 6th. I was about to say, no way we beat Dallas, too. So we actually get to round 2 and lose, but that just goes to show you that Stephen Curry still has some juice left in the tank. Mavericks and Knicks, and the Mavericks go on to win the championship. LeBron James, who obviously entered the court with his son tonight, does retire. Chris Paul retires, and so does Kyle Lowry. Al Horford there as well. Lottery night, I don't think it's going to matter for us too much since we just made the playoffs. Detroit gets 1. And then do we even have... Yeah, we have our pick here at 24. So we'll probably end up drafting here. We'll keep Steve Kerr as the head coach. Let's just head into draft night. And to me, the main thing is making sure that we continue to try to build around Steph. Like, we don't want to give up on him. He's clearly still that guy. So we're going to take Noah here in this part of the drafts out of France. We'll bring him in, and he'll be a solid piece in the future. Maybe he gets some minutes right away. I'll accept Guy Santos, and then qualifying offers. Kuminga is an important free agent to, of course, bring back. So he is going to ask for, and we'll bring D'Anthony Melton back as well as a nice bench piece. Looney, yeah, we'll resign to just in case. And then Gary Payton, I'm good on him. We'll resign Kuminga, as I mentioned. And Lenny Waters is 75 overall. He's cheap, so maybe he would come back and be a nice bench piece. But Lenny Waters will sign as well to a deal. Okay, so we just basically resign everybody at this point. But the main thing for me is potentially looking at the trade market. So Steph is clearly the point guard, obviously. Podziemski plays some shooting guard this year. We have D'Anthony Melton as well. So we could probably move one of these guys to the backup point guard. Probably Melton, of course. Lenny Waters is 6'6". I think I can get to small forward. And then I forgot Moody was extended. And he wasn't even in the rotation last year, which I'm a little shocked by. I guess that's my fault for not paying close enough attention. Slow-mo. And then you got Noah, who we just drafted, as I mentioned. And then Trace Jackson-Davis, Kevon Looney. So I like both these guys, but clearly we need a starting 5 down low. And that is going to be my ultimate goal here, is to try to upgrade the center position. I do believe we need some... Well, I guess I'll just kind of see what the options are. And we'll try to trade for our 5-man to put next to Stephen Curry, Podziemski, and Kuminga. So I'm obviously looking at some 5 options here. And the first one I thought about was Capella in Atlanta. And he is a free agent currently, I think. So that's not going to be an option for us. I was kind of thinking he had 1 more year left, but that is not the case. Obviously, Lauren Marketing was kind of a rumor at one point, but I'm not going to go for him. Sabonis was someone I kind of looked at. I don't trade for Sabonis all that often, but putting him next to Stephen Curry would be fairly interesting. They ended up being the 9th seed. I don't know if Sacramento would move on from him, obviously. He's been kind of a big part of what they're doing. But it's definitely something, you know, that I don't usually do. I don't usually trade for Domantas Sabonis of all people. Cat obviously just got to New York, so probably steer away from that. Nicholas Claxton is also another obvious choice simply because, you know, the Nets are bad. And Claxton is probably the most realistic choice here. So we could probably go for him. It'd make a lot of sense for us. I kind of like the idea of that. So maybe instead of going for Sabonis, we do go for Nick Claxton just because it does make a little bit of sense. So let's see if we can make something happen here with the Brooklyn Nets. So we're going to offer... Well, let's start with... I guess we can start with Slow-Mo's contract, of course. We can throw in... there were some other salaries I feel like I could throw in here that I would feel all right about. So we could throw in... I mean, we got Looney's contract that we just extended. Buddy Hield, I guess, wouldn't be too bad. Kuminga, and then Draymond Green's salary, which I won't throw in. I'll keep him. Moody, I'm not trading. Looney is probably somebody I could consider. We need $10 more million in this trade. So between Moody and it'd probably be Buddy Hield, I guess, at this point. He was solid for us last year, but if I can get Nicholas Claxton, I think we'd do it. So Kyle Anderson, Kevon Looney, and Buddy Hield for Nicholas Claxton. Now, obviously, these 3 guys make no sense for Brooklyn going forward. There's no incentive for them to accept this trade. But if we were throwing up a first-round pick for them, that might, you know, tell a different story. They get a first-round pick for Claxton. Maybe you could convince me that they could get 2 in real life for him, and you wouldn't be totally wrong. But maybe we just settle on this, and they should accept that. So we get Nicholas Claxton, get one first for him, and a few guys that can, be interested in our Brooklyn. So we got our starting center and Trace Jackson Davis backing him up. So that's Draymond, Kuminga, and then I guess we can actually move Kuminga probably to small forward, obviously, and then Wiggins can maybe move to the bench, and Kuminga will go up at an 84 overall. So that makes sense to do there. So we'll do something like that. Melton will be the shooting guard, I guess, since we just moved on from Buddy Hield. Moses Moody. Actually, yeah, we can move Moody to the shooting guard, and then Noah will be back at power forward. Yeah, that looks good. So it's not like a massive upgrade, and we shouldn't be like overly excited about, hey, okay, now we're gonna go win the championship. But the roster just makes a little bit more sense in my opinion. So we got Kuminga up to an 84. Draymond's regressing, which we kind of figured would be the case. So that's definitely something to look into. We could maybe move him at the deadline if we really wanted to. Wiggins, Melton, Trace Stacks, Davis, and Moody are all up. And then Lenny Water Santos, and then Beekman, and then Quentin Post are developing as well. So, still more work to do, but I do love to start with the Claxton edition. And we'll get into year 2. And we, got to round 2 last year. So, I'm expecting to be able to be good in the regular season again and be a competitive team in the playoffs. But we're still not even close, in my opinion, to being like a contender. Of course, when you have Stephen Curry, maybe you're closer than you even think, but there's still more work to do. So we are shot with their trade deadline, as we're currently contending at 31-19. But once we get in the playoffs, I don't think this roster will be good enough to go win a championship. So there's still some more work to be done here. So I have a few guys in mind here I'm looking at. I'm primarily looking to upgrade the forward positions. Obviously, we brought in Claxton. I like Podziemski as the 2 right now. I think he'll continue to develop there. We got a few options here. So first one being bringing back Kevin Durant. Sounds like something that might be worthwhile. I mean, Kevin Durant could end his career, I guess, in in Golden State, where he won a couple championships. I don't know if he'll be able to pull that off, though, because it is Durant, and he's a 93 overall. But his trade value doesn't seem to be that high. So maybe Durant is the right thing to go about here. We can bring him back for a couple more years, and this would be Stephen Curry and Durant's way of trying to win a couple more championships before all is said and done. So it would be kind of funny if we trade Draymond to do it. But I'm going to try to keep Draymond here if possible. We're going to have to throw Wiggins' salary in here. We're going to need $19 more million. I do believe Moses Moody's going to have to be thrown in here. And then we might have to throw Noah in here, which I do like the ceiling of him, going forward. But if we're going to get Durant, we got to give up some value here. So we'll start with that. And then Modi probably has to be the other guy in the trade, unfortunately. So we'll do something like this to be offered, and then we'll see if this is even close to being accepted by. And Gary Harris is not a bad throw-in, but we still need more money in this move. I was hoping to keep everyone else out of the trade, but if we want to get Durant, we might need to throw in another piece. So let's say we throw in Melton, which sucks. Don't get me wrong. I don't really want to throw in Melton. I kind of want to keep him around. So maybe Durant isn't the right guy to go for, because there's just too much money involved here, man. Unless we traded Draymond too, which maybe we need to do it. Maybe it's the right thing to do. We keep Moses Moody out of the trade. Maybe we trade Draymond. And yeah, so we'll do that. I hate trading Draymond because I would love to, keep him around. But if we're getting Durant at the end of the day, that's fine with me. So ironically enough, Draymond has to be in the trade, whatever. And then Amir Coffey could be a throw-in. So I don't know if they'd even accept this, but Noah would be the piece, of course, that they'd like for the future. We probably have to trade a first, so I don't know. Would this be even close to being considered by the Suns? And they want 2 other first-round picks. They'll give me Royce O'Neal as well. Oh, boy. That is a lot to give up for someone who is 37 at this point. So if it's not Durant, the other option I was going to go for was Lauri Markkanen, because that would make a lot of sense too. We could probably get away with, only trading like Wiggins and, maybe something else. We get Lauri Markkanen. But Durant, of course, is Durant, and this year we would give ourselves a chance to give Stephen Curry a championship. This is a lot of value to give up, and I don't love giving up 3 firsts for Durant, who's at this age at this point. But he's still having an incredible career, so or a credible season right now. So can I really deny that idea? I guess what we can do is we get Kevin Durant here, and we'll make sure he doesn't regress. We'll make sure his regression is pushed all the way up, so that way he doesn't regress at all. So we won't have to worry about that, and this would be the move we make. It sucks to give up this much, but I'm going to do it. We're going to give Stephen Curry the best chance, Getting Russell Neal as a throw-in is pretty solid as well. So yeah, there's a lot to give up, but I'm gonna do it. We get Kevin Durant on the Warriors. He's back. So Durant is back in the Warriors, and that should make things very interesting. So that's our brand new power forward. And now you have Stephen Curry, Podziemski, Kuminga, Durant. They want to start Trace Jackson Davis, which is interesting, but I'm going to continue to start Claxton because he's the guy here. So now Durant rounds up this rotation, and I think it looks pretty solid. Russell Neal is not a bad throw-in the rotation as well. We keep Moses Moody out the talk, so not bad. We'll roll with it, and like I said, we'll make sure Durant doesn't regress, and we'll make sure to obviously keep him. But vitals and then peak end age, making sure he doesn't regress like crazy because we just give up a lot. So this man needs to stay good. So we'll leave that the way it is. Dude, two 37-year-olds going after it. Does he want to sign an extension? I don't even know if it would let me sign him to an extension. Let's see. And we'll retire. Steph says he's going to retire. Wow, that sucks. Podziemski, we will resign. Trace Jackson Davis will eventually resign, and Durant will try to resign. But we got to make sure Steph doesn't retire. Okay, that's a big movement at the deadline. We're up to a 4.5 proficiency with Durant being brought in. Hopefully, what we just did pays off, and we can be a team that goes far in the Western Conference playoffs. We'll see if this was maybe a mistake, but, I think it was worth the risk. So another MVP award for Luka Doncic, and here are the rest of your awards. So All-NBA first team goes to Luka. All-NBA first team not only goes to Luka, we got Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, and Halliburton. I'm so freaking tired right now. Shea Wembanyama, John Morant, AD, and Cade Cunningham. All-NBA third team, and all-defensive first team, and all-defensive second team. So we end up as the 6th seed in the Western Conference, so we'll have to see how this goes. But we get a team that eliminated Durant last year when he represented Phoenix, but Kuminga's averaging 18, 14 from Podziemski, 8 from Trace Jackson Davis, 8 and 9 from Claxton. Obviously, Durant and Claxton also were teammates for a little bit there as well. But here goes nothing, man. We made all these moves to get to this point, and hopefully it pays off. We brought in Claxton and Durant, gave them a lot to do it. Obviously, Minnesota's done a lot as well to get to where they are. So we'll have a work cut out for us here, but I'm, looking forward to hopefully not losing in round 1. Game 1 goes to Minnesota. Game 2 is going to them as well. So they just beat us both games in Minnesota, but we got to see if we can win 2 straight at home, because going down 3-1 or 3-0 obviously is a death sentence, I would imagine. So this one's a close one, but we are going to win game 3. So we're not going to go down 3-0, which is good. But again, we still need to escape out of here with another win. And they want to throw Trace Jackson Davis in there for this game 4. So we'll see what that ends up, doing for us, and if it pays off. And it's looking all right now, but we got to make sure to hold on to this lead, and we don't. We go down 3-1. We had the lead there for a second, and we fall off. All right, so Moses Moody, I guess, is cold if I just saw that, but whatever. We don't really have any other options. So we'll have a 3-1 deficit here to try to come back from. Let's see if we can maybe pull this off, and we got ourselves a loss here. Minnesota is one of those teams I just always have a hard time beating, as we all know. But Knicks, Timberwolves, and the Knicks go on to win it all. So Timberwolves made all the way to the finals, so that just, is disappointing for us to match up against them. We were competitive in every game. It just didn't. Steph's trying to retire, as I mentioned, so thankfully I remembered to look at that, because if I didn't, I would have just skipped it, and I would have been screwed. I could have found a way to, work around it, but still, I'm glad I remembered to override that retirement. But all right, Steve Kerr will keep around, and I don't think we have a draft pick, because obviously we've traded a bunch of picks to get to Claxton and Durant on this team. Trace Jackson Davis will accept, and then Guy Santos is a free agent. But obviously the main priority is, we give up a lot for Durant, so we got to keep him around. So he has an offer from Phoenix to bring him back. That would be super amazing if he just went back, but I would be absolutely pissed, obviously. So we should be his number 1 offer, I would assume. Yes, we are, and he will resign, so that's not massive to get him back. Durant will stick around, which is what we needed, obviously. All right, is there anything else we can do in free agency that would help with this team? So Melton, Moses Moody, Royce O'Neal, Hardy, and then Trace Jackson Davis. So what's some other options? We got Dorian Finney-Smith or Kenyon Martin. I'm going to sign Kenyon Martin to a deal to give us some more depth. And then if I can bring back Lindy Waters, I would do that too, and we can. So I'm going to bring back Lindy Waters as well. So that gives us even more depth, which is nice. And then we got Robinson or McLaughlin out here, or Aaron Holiday or whatever. But I think we should be good after that. So not a whole lot's going to change here. We'll have to hope that Kuminga and Podziemski just kind of push, develop enough. Durant and Steph are down respectfully. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a championship today. If I had to guess in today's video, we're probably not gonna get a championship in today's video. I don't know if trading for Lauri Markkanen would have made a difference either. Those are the two guys I was kind of leaning towards. But you can't say we didn't try. That's the one thing you can't say. We tried. Durant, 7, Curry. This will be a full season with them together, so maybe things will change. And maybe at the deadline I can make another move. But, I've already kind of mortgaged all of our picks right now. So, I don't know. There may not be a move to be made. We'll just hope that things go well in the regular season, which maybe will, hint at us being a good playoff team and making a deep run, hopefully. So we're actually doing really good on this season right now, and you could argue that maybe we shouldn't make a move at all, but I am going to go ahead and make this move for Jonathan Isaac. We're just going to be upgrading the last spot on our bench, and Isaac, of course, has some defensive capabilities. The very big dude, 6'10", very versatile. So we're going to bring him in to be the last spot off our bench, and I really like it. So we're 40-13 on the season right now. Things are going extremely well, so maybe I should have just kept things the way they were. But I do believe making this move makes us better for the playoff run. So that's why we did it. So now Moody is also, Isaac, upgrades our bench tenfold. Our last bench spot now is a 78 overall. I like Moses Moody, but I mean, if he's just going to continue to get cold every single time, maybe it's time to move him as well. I don't, like I said, it's nothing against him, but it's going to be problematic if he's always, struggling in the playoffs. We don't need that right now. Peyton Watson and Peyton Pritchard is interesting for sure. We do have to trade it first to pull this off, but getting Peyton Watson and Pritchard, I really like the idea of. I might come back to that. Kobe Buffkin, Daniel Gafford, Capella. We already have a center in Trace Jackson Davis that we like. There are some good offers here, man. I'm not going to lie, to upgrade our bench even further. Robert Williams, if we needed a... Okay, so I really like this idea of Peyton Watson and Peyton Pritchard. I think we do this. We're going to make this trade. Now, I'm going to see if I can do this without trading a first-round pick. I feel like I should be able to. What if I do it 3 seconds instead? They're getting Pritchard and Watson. What do you say? They still want that first, and they're going to throw me a second. That doesn't do anything for me. All right, so let's say we threw in... Can I throw you, I don't know if Guy Santos would make a difference. What if I threw you... Nothing. There's, nothing in here that would make a difference. Okay, what if we go all the way to the 4 seconds to avoid trading another first? They say no. We gotta trade the first to do it. Whatever, we'll do it. We might as well just go for it at this point. We're in deep anyway. So, all right, we have made that move happen, and now we're gonna move things around again. So, Melton will run shooting guard now, and then Peyton Watson will move to small forward, which was the goal. So now, your new rotation is Steph, Podziemski, Kuminga, Durant, Claxton, Watson, Pritchard, Isaac, and D'Anthony Melton. We'll see if that ends up paying off. We upgrade the bench a little bit, and we'll see if that is going to help us go further in the playoffs. But this is pretty much the all-in season. I don't really see us being able to, do anything else after this. So if this doesn't work out, the video probably ends on a horrible note, but hopefully it does work out. So MVP goes to Victor Wembanyama. Peterson's your Rookie of the Year. Nolan Traore your 6-man. Wemby Defensive Player. And also most improved goes to Nolan Traore. So KD's your Clutch Player of the Year, which is nice. Back in Warriors uniform. All right, so here's All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team. So no Golden State Warriors representatives. I don't see. All defensive team. I doubt we have anybody here. Actually, we have Claxton making it, which is nice. That makes an all-defensive team. That's great. Okay, so we're the second seed in the West. We don't have to worry about Minnesota, which is good because they're the team I'm probably the most scared of. But Oklahoma City or Minnesota in round 2 is always going to be tough. But we got to beat the Grizzlies first. Let's make sure we do that. But here are the end of the season stats: 25, 24, 17, and 13. So we get the Grizzlies in round 1. So they are going to be, let's see, they got John Morant, Bane, Ace Bailey, of all people. Zach Edey, of course, as well. And then we'll see, man. Hopefully we don't lose in round 1. That would really suck. But this is a good Grizzlies team we're going up against. And we are going to be up 3-1. So that's a good sign. We beat them in 6 and avoid a game 7. We got to go to Memphis to beat them. But I would love not to get eliminated in round 1 here because, like I said, I'm probably going to make this the final season because Steph tried to retire on us last year. And we are going to at least get to round 2. So that's good. We draw Oklahoma City instead of Minnesota. So Minnesota is the matchup. Or, sorry, is not our matchup. It's going to be Oklahoma City, who has young AJ and a young Trey Johnson. So they're not fully developed yet. So that makes them a little bit less scary. But, again, still a really good team in Oklahoma City. Still have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But all right, here we go. So game 1 is going to go to us. Good start. This is Kevin Durant's former squad, as we know. They evened it up, though. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And we beat them in 6, just like we beat the Grizzlies. Let's find out. It's looking good right now in this game 6, as long as we don't blow a massive lead. And we are going to go to the conference finals. Okay, 132-97. We get either San Antonio or New Orleans. I imagine it's going to be the Pelicans, or the Spurs, and it is. But hey, at least we have home court advantage for these playoffs. But it is Victor Wembanyama. Now I'm not too terribly intimidated by the roster that they have right now. But again, it is still Wemby. That's still a problem, as we all know. But here we go. Game 1 goes to us. Blow them out, or beat them by 21. They even it up though. We take 1 in San Antonio, blow them out there. All right, we got an even series now for a game 5 in San Francisco. Can we come out here and win this is the question. We had the lead, but they take it for a second. We take it back. It's going to be a close one, and we're down 5 with 4 minutes left. Can we get back in this one to take the lead back? We tied up. Wow, I'm assuming Steph had a 3 potentially, but it looks like they're going to steal this one away from us. Unless we tie it here. And we do. Wow, we go to overtime. That was a game, or Buzz tying 3 potentially. Buzzer beating, tying 3. All right, so we have the lead right now in OT. It's only a 1-point game. Oh my goodness. Whoever hit that 3 to force overtime might have just saved this series. 47 from Durant. Maybe it was Durant who hit it because he had a massive game. 47 points. We looked like we were about to go down 3-2. But we actually are up 3-2 now. So this gives us an advantage. Maybe that sucked the life out of them, and we can come out here. Nope, they're going to... Oh, wait a minute. We might get back in this. No, they're going to force a game 7. So they blew us out. They were not, ignited out, or they were not deflated at all by what just happened to them. So game 7 in San Francisco to get to the NBA Finals with Stephen Curry one more time, and then Durant as well. Come on, man. Give me a good game here. Let's beat them. We have the lead right now. A close game, of course. Why would it not be? We have the lead. Can we not blow it? It's a minute 20 left on the clock. 6-point lead. We do it. Do we get to the finals? We do. 102-107. We make it to the NBA Finals. We get the Detroit Pistons to end off the video. Cade Ivey, Cooper Flagg, Asar, and Nick Richards. Okay. This will be interesting. They want to start D'Anthony Melton over Podziemski. Very interesting. I don't know if I agree with that. But we do win game 1, so maybe they're cooking. They even it up. Do we put Podziemski back in where he belongs? Yes, we do. Okay. Game 3, they take it. So we got to simcast game 4 to tie the series up because going down 3-1 does not sound fun. So here we go. Can we tie the series up? We have the lead right now, and we will tie it up. All right, so it's 2-2. We're going to a game 5 in San Francisco. We found ourselves in this situation against the Spurs. And we're going to blow them out for this one, I think. We're going to blow the doors off of them and not blow a lead, and we are going to win game 5. We win game 6. I'm gonna click someone through game because no matter what, we either win the championship or going to a game 7 in the video. What happens? We win the championship, avoiding a game 7 altogether. And just like that, Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry win one last championship together in San Francisco. And then I'm assuming Stephen Curry will retire on that note. Durant retires. Stephen Curry's gonna stick around, which I thought he'd retire on that note, but he doesn't. But I still think that's a great time to end the video. What a fun one, man. Getting Durant, we traded so many first-round picks in today's video. Actually insane. A little unrealistic, of course, but still a fun video nonetheless. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stephen Curry and Durant reunited at the end of things. Who would have thought? That's all I got for you today. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.